Well, I figured I'd just come on because I saw a bunch of questions scrolling during that. Do I think they're going to go into martial law? What do I think is going to happen with this thing? So I saw a bunch of questions come in my last one that I was like, oh, I could answer those questions. So if you have a question that you want to ask about this coronavirus, I am not the guy to ask. If you have a question about what I think we may be headed for, I definitely would speculate about that for a little bit. So, and I am not gonna like this. Doesn't listen. You can. There's two things that are gonna happen. One, a lot of people are gonna start watching these videos, and chat's gonna get super crazy. Don't let if they're yelling and screaming at me, let them yell and scream at me. Don't get caught up in the trolls. If the trolls get by one of the moderators, some of my moderators have families. They can't be on at the same time I'm on. So if they get by, don't worry. They'll catch them later. If you want to engage with the troll, have at it. If you want to leave them alone, leave them alone. If you think I care, I don't care. I may block one every once in a while. I may see something come through and I'm like, oh, I'm going to blow that one up. So who knows? But people are, the reason I'm telling you this is because people on Facebook and on YouTube are like, man, there's some people that are rude in there. Just ignore rude people. They need a good message too. So do up. Do you think they will not let people in the courtroom because the CDC saying they want us to not have gatherings bigger than 50 people? That is one reason. If they extend those circumstances or extend those measures out, there's a very big possibility that they won't let people into that courtroom based on the fact that they're obeying the CDC's rules. But there's also a chance that they could cancel court altogether, transporting people, all of that stuff. So that's just like, that's a very small fraction of what's about to happen. It's now 25 max in Massachusetts. Wow. Some being, let's see here. They closed all our courts here in Kentucky except emergency cases and doing everything by webcam. Yeah, see? No school for 6 weeks in Washington State. See, this is crazy. I mean, like, it's happening right over spring break. So there's like 1 week or 2 weeks, people are like, oh, we're getting the same. But yeah, anyone in federal prison can't have visitors next 30 days. So, like, there you go. It's an Apple Snap says anyone in federal prison can't have stuff for 30. People need to get help. A neighbor that may need food. Yes. I talked about this a little bit today on Facebook, Robin. This is going to become a time when people are going to need to know their neighbors. You're going to have to know your neighbors. You're going to need to go shake your neighbor's hands tomorrow. Like, and it might be too late, man. We had a situation here in Woodland Park where a neighbor today pulled out a machete on somebody, or yesterday pulled out a machete on somebody. So people are going to be going crazy. Park City. Now they're shutting down Bourbon Street. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are they shutting down Mardi Gras? Oh, for the St. Patty's Day, I guess. Prison populations will be safe. Oh, that's always great. They can just let the prisoners out. Not really, because guards go in and out. Guards could bring that stuff in and just kill them all. Elbow bump, right? I don't think elbow bump's even supposed to be. Dude, don't forget the ammo. Man, are we going to get to that? Is that what this is going to, is that the point we're at right now? Like, part of me thinks if that's the point we're at, dude, I just want to be taken into the other side. Just take me over to the other side right now. I don't want to be here because If it's going to turn into an all-out civil war crap, no visitors to hospitals, nursing homes. My guns are loaded here in Ohio. It would save a lot of money if you would just send someone in the death row prison. Oh, I have my seeds started already. Man, people, what's your take on the rapture? Brandy, I think the meek inherit the earth. So, like, I'm of the belief that we're not going anywhere, that we just can't see the other side. So, science says there's like 13 or 14 dimensions, and we only can operate in a few of those. But I also I believe that because that's how the Father laid it out. So, as far as us being raptured from the earth to go somewhere else, I don't believe that at all. What I believe, we may be raptured to something, to the other side. Like, I think death in and of itself is like a little rapture. There's enough like stories about the afterlife that say, there's enough people that people have talked to that they're going somewhere. They're not going somewhere dark, right? When you think of the absence of everything, the absence of light, the absence of everything, you think of dark. But every afterlife experience story that people maybe died for a second or come back, or they're on their way out. If you've ever been around someone who is like, in their whole, they're together, right? Like their mind, and they can talk to you and they communicate, but they're on their deathbed, like maybe their last breathing. So many stories of, it's beautiful, I see the light. So wherever you head in the after, there's light, which isn't dark, which is what we know to be the absence of everything. And so when I think about the rapture, I think about that other place on the other side, right? On the other side of death, on the other side of that. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to be raptured to somewhere. I think we might be raptured from something and taken to the other side. But I think that other side is all around us. So many times that the old scripture is the kingdom of God is all around you. The kingdom of God is like, the kingdom of heaven is like, and it's all around us. So that's why there's no fear of death. I super like, although I don't like to think about it because my children, my wife, I don't want to leave people here, right? I don't want to think about my kids being raised without a dad. Me personally, I don't fear death anymore because I think we're just beginning. Like, I think this 100 years on this earth is just the beginning of something far more beautiful. Like, because of the complexity of what even we are, just the personal makeup of the human body, mind, stuff like that. Just the complexity of that screams that we're just getting started. So, golly, y'all just got a little Sunday rant because someone asked me what I thought of the rapture. Do not even know what the word means, the word rapture, it even in the Bible. There you go. Now we go. We got them going now. Got the old religion coming out on Sunday. We're like the end of the world religion. Man, I think the cities are going to have a hard time. So listen, I went into Walmart today and I made a joke and just put up some fishing stuff. Dude, my mountain Walmart up here is bare than I've ever seen it. And like, I don't know when they're going to restock. Like, I'm not worried at all. Like, not even I don't have a fraction of worry about food or water or any of that. I don't have a fraction of worry about any of that. I have a worry about how people are going to respond to this thing. And I know up here how people are going to respond, right? Or I can have an idea of how people are going to respond. And I actually have a pretty good pulse. Like, I'm meeting with the superintendent of our schools tomorrow, having coffee with him in the morning, just me and him. And so I'm running for political office in my small town. So I kind of got a little privy inside track on what's going on here. Outside of the mountains, outside of here, places like Denver and Phoenix and Kentucky and these bigger metropolitan areas in New York and Detroit and Chicago and Washington. Man, I've seen what happens when just like little things happen. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened to anyone that's on the face of the planet today. Like as far as how America is acting, like the shutdown of schools and events and travel, and it's just going to get more, like billions. I mean, people like the billions of dollars of revenue that is being lost, right? Even your heads of even the most ruthless of gangsters, Dana White, the UFC president, is like, we're having to shut down our events. And he's like ruthless fight promoter. I mean, as mobster at Vegas as they come, going like for a profit, like screw this virus, dude. I'm profit. Everything's for money. Human fights for money, right? Even that dude is having to shut down his business. And I'm like, this thing is not small. Like they keep saying 3, 2, 4 weeks, man. I hope in 10, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, I'm not sitting here freaking freezing, warming my fire up going, send some PayPal money. Oh my God. I think we're going 6 months, man. I think we're going to feel the shock of this for a minute. And anyway, so rapture. What else? Is there any, babe? I have done since the beginning of time. You got a number to what? I don't know what y'all are talking about now. I'm trying to read y'all's chat. All normal here in Australia. It's CDC just announced 8 weeks of 50 plus canceled. Pow. That's billions. Listen, I knew about this 2 weeks ago when the show canceled. And then two days later, and 2 days later, and then 2 days later, shows all over the country that I was booked on started canceling. Tens of thousands of dollars out my pocket. Like guaranteed money. Y'all been on men prostitution. Guaranteed money. Poof, poof, poof. And I'm like, well, better turn up the podcasting. Hey, I booked a bunch of podcasts for this week. So I got a female rapper coming on this week. Oh, that's going to be the shit. I've been trying to get this girl on for a minute. Female rapper this week. I got a politician on one of my other channels on the Woodland Park Underground. I got the former mayor of Woodland Park coming on with me for my political stuff. What else? I'm gonna book another one with my art dude. I'm gonna go down and see my art guy down in the Springs and do another one with Robert down at the art gallery. I gotta book that, but he'll have time. I got a bunch of regular podcasts coming out because everybody's got time now. So what else? We are not in the tribulation, okay? Tribulation. Wait a minute, Deborah. Some people are in their tribulation right now. Some people are in a living hell right now. So you got to be careful when you say we're not in a tribulation, because some people are in the worst part of the life they've ever been in. And so you got to be careful. You got to be careful because tribulation can mean a lot of things. I'm in a tribulation right now, I tell you. Huh? See, that's what I'm saying. See, Sweet Crazy's in a tribulation. Mike, can you talk about churches into streaming directly to the parishioners' home using Tube and Facebook? Ro, listen, I'm going to start a church because we're on level playing ground now. I mean, I have right now in my live video, I have more people than most of the churches that I have actually worked with. Most of theirs averaged about 500 to 1,000 people in live videos today. And today was the biggest day of live streaming by far by churches anywhere. And so for me, I was like, man, I could start a church right now online and I'm already ahead of the game. I thought about that a little bit. I went to church today. I actually went to church. I went to our small mountain church. There ain't no way 250 people were in that room. There was maybe 100 people, not even 100 people. There was maybe like 60 people, 60 people in that room. But what it made me think about was what happens when the government says, boom, shut down. Like they shut down churches. And I'm telling you, to shut down the American church is to shut down, that's powerful. Shut down the Catholic Church, power. That is a power move. Now, next week, they may shut down all churches because if they say 50, if they say under 50 or less, right, they're going to shut down even your small mountain church. Like I go to a small, my wife, it's only the second. I can't say I go there yet because I've only been to like 2 services in 22 months because I work with a bunch of nonprofits. But every one of the churches I've ever worked for ever shut down yesterday or today, shut down today. Everyone I've ever worked for, every mega church, every mega minute, I could go through and name. These guys invented web streaming and they were shut down. And so, and then my little mountain church here in Woodland Park stayed open. It was a powerful service. I should have live streamed that service. These little mountain people, they don't play when it comes to God. They actually believe that stuff. So, like, not in a weird way. It's in a way of, hey, anticipation, baby. God's going to do something through this. So when you go to a smaller mountain church where those people believe God's going to move in this whole situation, you walk out of there being like, let's go for a hike, you know? So web streaming is going to be the new thing, man. It's going to be Chang. I texted 2 pastors. No shit, dude. I said, how about a beer and a podcast this week? And so I might have a couple pastors on Dad with the phone just to ask them about this and ask them, like, ask you guys, you ain't seen nothing till I question a pastor. And so I might have a couple of pastors take me up on that because there's a couple of pastors in the Springs that I messaged and was like, hey, how about a beer and a podcast so that we can talk to this virus thing? So we'll see what happens. Preparing. Yep, good. I'm gonna see here. People have families. Police are having to protect them when unloading or even sleeping somewhere in the trucks. Man, I know, man. I ain't even. Our schools are here still providing meals. Yeah, some of the schools are providing meals. I saw that. That's the big thing. So here's the flip side of this whole thing, guys. And this will kind of bring it back home to what you guys know to be true in the whole true crime and murder stuff. You know, school is an escape for some kids. It's an escape. It's a better life. They got running water. They got heat. They got food. They're going to have lunch, breakfast maybe they can get. And that's what people are worried about is these schools are shutting down. And this is sometimes the best. That's the best life that some kids have. You know, we all know too well about abuse when it comes to children because of these true crime cases and following these true crime cases. But think about all the thousands of kids of unreported abuse that goes on, and mom and dad are now going to be that much more on edge. They're going to be that much more freaking out about how they're going to provide, how they're going to feed, how they're going to take care of. The addicts are going to be that more trying to get their next fix. They're going to be that more there's going to be more like robberies and stuff going on because the addicts are going to try to be getting their fix. All of a sudden they got their kids. Now their kids are at home during school hours. There's a lot of things to be thinking about other than where's my toilet paper. And so the next, what are you doing? Something you left? Oh. So like there is this other side of this that people aren't thinking about. And a lot of people are. A lot of people are thinking about it. Like that's the question. Our schools are still feeding some, but there's this really other side of things that there's going to be a lot of kids at home with a lot of amped up, anxiety-ridden, scared, fearful parents, and that scares me a little bit. It does. So. Ohio schools are closed and providing breakfast and lunch while my phone's ringing. I don't know if I want to take phone calls. Why not? You're live with Dad with a phone.
Hey, Dad with a phone. It's me, D. Clue Girl, but I shortened it to D. Clue. How you doing, man?
How are you doing? Good. What are you thinking about?
You know, I was listening to you. I haven't been able to, get in there every day, but I was listening to you tonight, and I just wanted you to know, there are a lot of kids out there without people, family to help them, and they're by themselves, and I would just encourage, everybody to get with their neighbors and, maybe try to do, switch days to try to, watch the kids and give them something to do. And I grew up like that, poor and, on school lunches and stuff. And, we really have to just try to help each other right now. It's just a really tough time for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. I just been watching a little bit, haven't been getting on too much, but I see everybody in your chat and stuff, and they're all talking about the same stuff, and just, don't panic. Everybody just try to stay together and help each other out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, what we're talking about a year from now. Like this is an event that we all have in common, right? Like everyone on that's in this chat right now is about to feel the effects of the same thing, of this same event. So we are all now meeting on this common ground of where we're at. No matter where we're at in life, we're all having to deal with this thing.
Yeah, I got 2 grandkids in Washington, and they just shut down the schools, and, both my son and daughter-in-law work full-time, and, it's a scary prospect. I would love to bring them to where I'm at, but, I can't right now. So it's just a really tough situation for everyone.
Yeah, it is, for sure. Well, thank you for your thoughts.
Hey, no, you're welcome, man. Hang in there and just keep trying to give everybody a positive little attitude. And, I don't want anybody freaking out. And that's all we can do.
Absolutely. All right. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, it's a crazy thing. Like just to even think about it, just kind of had that thought that we are all about to walk through the same thing. Like it doesn't matter where you're at in this country, you're going to be affected by this thing. And so it'll be something that we all have in common from now. Like some of you have been affected by kid, you had a missing kid, or you cancer brings people together, or different things like that. But this is going to be something that if we're talking 10 years from now, you're all going to be like, oh, dude, we were up there with the phone. I remember when that virus ran through, So it's going to be nuts. We are all in this together. We need to act like it. We for sure, man. As silly as it sounds, they may not allow it. They are bringing extra cautions. I work as a caregiver, and they are trying not to let anything in or out, such as sweet ideas, through and not unworthy of trying. Oh. Same. I think the family is hurt. People are texting me about my last video. Great. Tomorrow's going to be wonderful. The great toilet paper depression of 2020. Dude, the toilet paper aisle at Walmart, zilch, empty. I still think that's like a political poker thing. I think that was like a political poker move. 211. Please talk about 211. I don't know what 211 is. Tiffany. What is 211? 211. Is that like a non-emergency number? I don't know what 211 is. Food shortages. Maybe Agenda 201. What's Agenda 201? Smokers' date, newspapers, and such. I'm trying to read y'all's Agenda 201. 211 is for resources. Oh, okay. 211 is all help. I got you. So like 911. So if you dial 211, it's for resources. So you can call and get resources. It's part Agenda 20. I don't know. United Way. Okay. So maybe if you need help, start with star 211. If you can't get help that way, you can always call Dad with the phone. I don't know if I'll answer though, but I will record it for sure. I think I got some voicemails. Let's see what I got here. Voicemails.
Hey, Daddy with the phone. My name's Billy. Hey, I'm calling you to give you some information that I have from an inside source about the Gannon trial about Keisha. That's something I want to talk to you about. You're going to want to hear this. Call me back, 928.
That's the potty mouth guy. Nice. I wish I would have seen that beforehand. Dang it. That's potty mouth guy. I'm just checking my messages real quick. Somebody called me and then they like, oh, it's the middle of the night. Yeah, it was like the middle of the night. That's somebody listening. You know what happens is people listen to my videos afterwards, and then they start calling me in the middle of the night when they're watching it. And they're like, oh, I thought you were alive. I don't answer those phone calls, by the way, people. They can connect you with agencies to help financially if you need help. I'm not going to call potty mouth guy. Why are people hoarding stuff that goes bad quickly? I don't have any voicemails from Nicole. I start worrying about Nicole when I don't get a voicemail from Nicole. You know, it's been a minute, man. But, you know, that's the other thing. You start getting regular voicemails from people, and then all of a sudden they disappear, and you're like, should I call in a missing persons? If churches hand out toilet paper, the people will come. Hey, my boy, the little mountain pastor says, hey, we are a benevolent church, and we do have a couple of packages of toilet paper. If you need toilet paper, you just give the old pastor a call. She's all right. The old days. Damn, I gotta replay the last laugh. I miss potty mouth guy. They're not happy. He's not happy with me. And I feel bad because I believe he's probably someone who knows the family and has been trying to help. But they need to take out their frustration on me, so I can take it, but I will record that crap. Where do you live? I don't know who you're talking to. If you're talking to me, I live in Colorado. I live way up in the mountains. What other questions have I missed? I know chat's slinging through here. 6 states have activated the NG, and they are the ones that have the majority of the confirmed cases. It's not like they are enacting martial law, folks. I don't think martial law, but there is some there is some curfews being enacted, which as soon as you enact a curfew and someone's out past a certain time, you can arrest them. And so like people will get arrested for a curfew violation, which is kind of Gestapo-ish, right? And so I think as whatever's in your imagination, here's the thing, if worst case scenario happens and we go on lockdown, but they let us have internet, you guys are going to at least be able to tune into Dad with the phone. That's worst case scenario. Everybody goes on lockdown, and y'all have to tune into Dad with the phone 24/7. But I won't be able to bring you any more information than you'll get out just by looking out your window, because you'll be on lockdown with me. So I don't know, but you can freeze eggs. See, the thing is my neighbor's close enough. He's got like 20 chickens, and he's going to need some help protecting them chickens, and I'm going to help him protect those chickens. Can you preserve eggs, though? I don't know. No time limit here in Texas yet. Many stores and businesses are closing. I'm Florida. Disney closing on spring break. It's serious. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I tried to tell y'all earlier. When the Gestapos are closing, when the corporations are like losing money, you're talking serious. Like, it is serious for sure. I don't think we understand how serious it is because of all these little press conferences they keep doing to try to tell you it's not serious. When politicians start telling you it's not serious, that's when you got to believe something's up. Something's up. I'm just telling you. New York is asking for the National Guard. As a nurse, it's serious, Teresa says. Making homemade bread, flour, yeast, house smells great. Do you think they will stop truckers and mail down? That's a good question. When they stop the truckers, that means no more supplies, and that's when crap really goes down. Should we answer this call? You're live with Dad with a phone.
Hello. Hi, I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm just watching one of your episodes here.
Yeah, you're like, just so you know, you're live on a new episode.
Oh, okay. So this isn't the latest then. It says 45 minutes ago or something.
Well, it might be. You might be right in the middle of it, and you're going to get to yourself in just a little bit. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about?
Oh, my gosh. I'm like so addicted to watching you. I had texted you about prayers for Dan, and I guess like a week ago, because it was so awesome, and it was just awesome. But you just played that phone message from some asshole guy saying you're a piece of shit and stuff. Like, what is his problem?
Well, like I think proportionately, I'm gonna give him a little bit of a break, because I think he's close with the family, and I think there's some emotions flying high. I'm not with the family, but I think just people who are trying to protect the family and people who are trying to, and so proportionately, I think a portion of that hostility is some of that. Now, some of it is just not being able to communicate and be able to talk through things.
Yeah,
So,
'cause you're doing good. You're not doing no harm.
well, I don't. I'm not knowingly. I'm for sure not knowingly or willingly trying to do any harm. So, that's for sure.
I see that. I see that. I just had to tell you to keep up the work. My name is Lisa.
All right.
I'm from Pennsylvania. And
Well, thanks for watching.
I heard that and it just pissed me off, so I had to call you.
Well, no
I mean,
problem.
even if they're close to the family, still, that's no reason for that. You're doing good by trying to find stuff out. It don't make sense.
Well, I understand. No, I understand. But these are situations none of us have been in. This is the first time I've been through a case like this. This is the first time, a few months ago, none of us even knew who Gannon was or this whole situation.
Right.
And so, people deal with it in a lot of ways. Sometimes they need to scream at me. The thing is like, this isn't the first time that I've been screamed at or cussed at. I know you may have only been watching maybe a short time.
Don't fall into that trap.
Oh, I don't. I don't.
Because that's what they want. They did it to Armchair Detective because he knows what he's talking about. I don't know if you know him on the internet.
Oh yeah, I've heard his name.
Yeah, he's pretty good too in Down Earth. I'm not sure of anything else, but I was watching him with Chris Watt's case. I was just drawn to it. First of all, I love kids.
Yeah.
To be a daycare worker, and I don't have children, so it just breaks my heart to hear this stuff about children being murdered and stuff. And Gannon got my attention, and so did the three little ones, Chris Watt's case.
Yep. No, I understand.
And you have a beautiful family too, because I've seen your wife come in a little bit, and your daughter. Oh my gosh, they're adorable.
Well, thank you so much. Well, thank you for the kind words tonight.
Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. No problem. When I heard that, I thought, I wrote your number down. I thought, this ain't going to be his real number. And then you answered.
Well, yeah, I answered. This is my number. So, hey, well, thanks for giving me a call tonight.
You're very welcome. You keep up the good work. You're doing nothing wrong.
All right.
Don't try and get you. You know that.
So. Yep. This ain't my first one, so thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.
Oh, and if you talk to them, Gannon's family, please send them my love. It's Lisa from Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just can't imagine. Can't even imagine.
All right.
So I will let you go.
All right.
Keep up the good work.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Somebody send me text messages. Oh, yeah. The damn stores are empty. People freaking out. Somebody sent me a text and said, how many families are going to be displaced by the virus, homeless, because of the fallout from the virus, not necessarily the virus itself, but just from this fallout of I'm pretty privileged to be in the position that I am in, but I'm still worried. I still worry about, oh crap, we got to pay this bill. I think they should just suspend all bills. I think if they're going to suspend life, they should suspend all bills. But there are a lot of people out there that live, day to day with their finances, and they don't trust in the necessarily, or have this idea of what provision is. And so there are going to be a lot of people that go through a hard time. And so, yeah, we got to really think through villages are going to become small. It's going to become a small village between people. People are going to need help. People are going to need people in their community. And I'm going to need people. I'm going to have to be for people. You understand? So like we're all going to need each other in the next phase of whatever this is. Whatever this is and what we're about to hit, we ain't never seen it. We haven't seen it. We haven't been here. There's no prediction. Somebody, if they thought this shit up in a laboratory, I'm going to be pissed. Like if they thought up how they were going to take down America in some little think tank somewhere, and this is just the execution of some conspiracy, I'm going to be pissed. But what I really think is happening and what I think is seeing with even our world leaders and the leaders that are talking, man, when they're telling you everything's going to be okay, kids, that's pretty much telling you ain't going to be okay. And especially coming from the most dishonest people in America. Now, I'm not talking about individuals in office. I'm talking about the idea of politicians and political parties. They are the most dishonest people in America, and they're trying to tell you it's going to be okay. I tend not to believe it. And so I'm not trying to be, this isn't fear mongering. Trust me. I think I know I'm going to be okay. That's the problem. I think about you guys, and I hope that you know you're going to be okay. That stick with that with the phone. We'll make it. It's going to be okay. If you'll stick with me over the next year, and we can talk about this in a year, we're all going to make it. So, God, or I'm going to be, or y'all can consider me a liar. I don't know. It's going to be crazy. Oh, my neighbor sucks. No one speaks. No one waves. Oh. If people cannot leave the house to work, they should stop all bills, give people a break, right? But listen, then people are like, oh, this is just a forced in socialism, right? It's like a forced in because people have, the thing is people have to do work for things to happen. So people have to get paid, right? The electric people have to get paid. The trash people have to get paid. The water people, the city people, your government has to get paid. So those people sometimes can't go to work either, but it's going to be crazy for a little bit, kids. The private sector is going to, just the billions in private revenue is going to trickle down to the working man. So if you work in hotels, if you work in they're just everything. Car dealerships people aren't going to be buying cars. People aren't going to be spending their money. This is just going to trickle down. And the economy is headed for if you put your trust in gold and chariots, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be, we're here though. We're here until the internet quits. We're here until I can't broadcast again. If you want to help dads, it's funny because you shouldn't give a dime to me if you can't afford it. There's TikTok. Go. Hey, I got a 4.8 review now because of a bad review. So go give me a review on Facebook. Help me get my review numbers back up to at least 4.9 out of 5. 4.8 out of 5 people recommend Dad with the Phone on Facebook. So you could go give me a recommendation on Facebook. You can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. And if you want to throw money in the bucket, if you got a little extra money laying around in the bucket and you want to throw a little bucket money my way, that shit might not be worth anything tomorrow. So throw your paper around. I'm just teasing. Please don't take me serious unless you do. We'll talk to you guys later. It's been fun. It's fun.